Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. Seeing past the mask. And I want to shout out a gentleman who left a comment on one of my recent videos, First Class Roadman, because he wanted to know how to see past the mask. Well, that's a two-level answer, right? If you want to see on a deep level, check out my list of purchase videos and look up check out the videos on the house of the woman, the house of the man, and the 5 sexual personality types of women and the 5 sexual personality types of men. And in doing that, you can see on a deep level. If you just study that information on a rudimentary basis, you will have a greater understanding of people regardless of what mask they put on, right? But on another level, like if you just want to just listen to this video and be able to go right out and see past people's mask, you have to first understand some basic things and then do some basic things. Understand something. Let me give y'all a story, right? Back in 79, right? It was the summer before I was supposed to start this high school in the DC area, which was at the time pretty prestigious. It was Archbishop Carroll High School. People in the DC area know what I'm talking about. Now, what Carroll is at in this day and age, I'm not sure of. But back then, it was an all-boys school. It was very good college preparatory, pretty good for getting people in college if that's what they wanted to do. And there's a lot of successful graduates from there, right? Now, I remember I went with my grandmother to visit a friend of hers. And this friend I remember when we went over, this friend had about maybe 3 or 4 granddaughters there or something. And these girls, they were ignoring a brother. I mean, they were ignoring a brother. I was invisible to these girls, right? And grandma had much game. Anybody can figure it out. I learned much game about life from my grandmother. That's why I always talk about her. That's why if somebody were to disrespect her, I'd kill them. And she kind of picked up on these young heifers ignoring her pride and joy. Because, she was like my mother. Even though she was my grandmother, she raised me, right? So she picked up on it, right? But grandma, she knew the game. So she was talking with the woman and, she was talking about me. And she was like, oh, yeah, he's about to start Carol in the fall. When she said that, these little girls perked up. I think one of them would have let me slobber down if, we were in a different circumstance once she heard that. Yeah, because we weren't out there like these kids nowadays and stuff. I mean, you meet a girl first time, best you getting is a kiss. Yeah, sex will come later. But, basically, what they saw was the mask. Even though I didn't put the mask on myself, they saw that mask. They judged me based on a status, which is part of a mask. Now, another thing is what one of my mentors recently told me about money. We were having a discussion. He said, yeah, money, if you really have money, you can influence people's behavior because they'll treat you differently if you have money as opposed to when you don't. And that's a true thing because I know like when I go to different restaurants, even if it's just for lunch or something, I always tip a little bit higher than I have to. I never give just a required tip. I always give a little bit more. Right? And the reason I do that because I know if they see my face again, I get great service. That happens every time I go to someplace more than once. I guarantee I get the best service, right? Like, but it's that money thing. They know they're going to get money. So that influences people. And that's a mask too. See, the thing about the mask, to see past it, you really have to ignore the outer stuff. See, too often we judge people. We just say, oh, okay, well, they wearing those shoes. Like, that's why some of these kids, they can't afford, like, some of the basic necessities, but will camp out for some Jordans. Because people will say, oh, he got Jordans, he must be cool. Or you got people who can't afford much, but they got, they got that late model car. Even though they living in just something that's a step above a shack. With roaches and stuff, right? Shoot, but they wearing that mask like they got something. If you want to see past the mask, ignore all that. Even when they say it, you get some people who try to act like, just because they have some degrees, that they're above the average person. And I'm saying this as a person with degrees. That's why I never present them. Because I want when people deal with me, I want them to deal with me. I don't want them dealing with where I went to school. Or whatever, I'm qualified to do. If you meeting me, I want you to say, okay, that dude got a good character. I'm going to mess with him. Or if they don't like my character, it's like, well, nah, he rubbing me the wrong way. That's cool. But see, some people, they know. They'll deal with somebody they might not want to deal with character-wise because they think that they see the mask that person's wearing. See, that mask is like using all that outer stuff, like the status, even the clothes, on a very deep level, even your looks, using that car, using your zip code. It really hides who you really are. So, the thing to do is not to pay attention to all of that. To look past all of that. That's the key. That's the key. Don't ignore it. And it's hard because we live in a culture which says to be something, you got to be these things. That's how they advertise to people. They'll subtly, I need to do a video on advertising again. I think I did one, but I need to do yet another one. This is an important issue. What you want to do is ignore that. Ignore your tendency to judge somebody because of the car they drive. Because like I was about to say about advertising, they give you the impression, you will have a happy life if you have this car. Or if you have this bed, or if you use this toothpaste, or if you use this grill. That's how they sell stuff. That's part of the science of advertising, the science of propaganda, And especially if they use a beautiful woman to advertise this, or a handsome man, they're using sex. And let me give y'all some deep game. If you want to get somebody to do anything or influence anybody, arouse them. People are very susceptible to suggestion if they arouse when you make the suggestion. There's some little bit of game there, right? But getting back to it, you got to ignore all those outer things. And it's very easy. Just don't make it important, right? Because I've known some dudes, and back at one of the educational institutions I went to, right? I knew some dudes, they were definitely sons of the 1%ers. Definitely. I can look up both of them right now on the internet and probably say, hey, yo, you remember me? Yeah, I remember you, man. Kept drinking up all my beer. But thing is, when I met them, I didn't know who they were and didn't care. Even when they told me, I was like, oh, okay. No, I take that back. One had a, shall we say, well-known father. But he was just somebody who used to hit hard during intramural football games. So I was cool with him. This dude, yeah. Because I took him as that. I didn't really care about his parentage. I was like, dude, he was cool with me. I could probably hit him up now and probably be like, hey, dude, I kind of need a job. They might kick me off of YouTube for talking too much shit. He'd probably be like, yeah, I got you. But still, right? I wasn't even fazed by the mask. See, you can't get fazed by all of that. What that mean, really? Seriously. Okay, they got a nice car, fine. They dress nice, fine. Like with the sons of the 1%ers I've met, they hadn't done anything in life noteworthy at that point. So I dealt with them on that level. Now, it's not to say you can't make some great accomplishments or something, but at the end of the day, it's a part of who you are. It's an accessory, but it's not who you are. So in looking past that, you look at the person's character. See, that's why a lot of people get burned. And I've said this too, and this is something I've said to women. I say, hey, look, Biggest players ain't Pookie and Ray Ray. The biggest players is Devin, who's a Wall Street trader. Because many women going to see that money, see the position, see his little fat crib and everything, and he pushing that E-class, and they going to get wet because they saw the mask. That's the essence of a masked man. But then when they get past that mask, see the character, they like, damn, what the fuck I do? So pay attention to that character. Always look at that character. Stifle your urge to get past it. Because, see, some people going to present the mask too. You know, like I was talking about in that masked woman video. You know, men and women present that mask. You can get far with it. But I ignore it. It's irrelevant to me. And it's like, it's your character. You know, I look right through it, straight through it. And that's how you have to do it. You just like, don't get caught up in all that other stuff. Because that shit can change quickly. There's plenty of people out there who had big homes, cars, houses, and some shit happened. And all of a sudden, they don't have it anymore. It's their character that's going to get them through. You know? It's that character. You can drop, if they really a good person, they got great character, shoot, you can drop them anywhere and it's going to show. It's like a mentor, another mentor. I've had a lot of mentors. Like another mentor said about diamonds. Right? You can drop a diamond in a box full of glass, and the diamond won't be the one that's scratched. You know, I look at that character. That's how you do it. Don't look at the outer. You know, don't look at that exoskeleton. You know, the Batmobile is not what makes Batman Batman. All his gadgets don't make him Batman. What makes him Batman is how relentless he is, his character. So that's what you look at. Don't look at the outer. Shoot, hey, they got that Armani suit on. You know, when Rom busts out that Armani suit, and yeah, I'm actually looking at Armani suits. I gotta get some new clothes, but that don't mean anything. It just mean I like it. I like nice shit. That's all it means. It don't make me a better person. And in fact, it annoys me personally if a woman gets caught up in, you know, any of my accessories. It annoys me. That's what just for any ladies out there, if you want to turn me off, say something about education, anything like that, or even me being a writer. Nah, I want you to be the type to be like, damn, you know, Ron, you're just a cool person to talk to. That's how you get me. So learn to see past the mask. Don't go crazy over it. Don't go crazy over the outer shit. Just look right through it. And that's really how you do it. Focus on the character. Pay attention to their behavior. Very simple. Anyway, that's it for today. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.